life was given to us by God in order for we to use that our lives to make nation, our community, our society, the world at large great. Yes, life wasn't given to us for we to use it to create problem, but rather life was given to you and me in order for we to use that life to solve problems, not to create problems, to use that life to make our nation great. I greet you all specially. Good morning, good afternoon / good evening. This is a Creative Kingdom AB. If today is your first time, you are highly welcome. You are definitely going to benefit from this channel. We are all learning. The day a man stop learning, that is the day he dies. If life was given to us in order for we to use it to make our nation, to make our, yes, in order for we to use it, in order for we to make our nation great, it means there's a need for we to use our life to raise a better generation. It is good for we to use that life that God has given to each and every one of us, to use it to raise the generation of Steve Jobs, yes, the generation of Bill Gates, yes, because these people are just mentioning. I'm mentioning them because they are solving problem. They are solving problem. There's an end to polio pandemic. Why? Because Bill Gates play a vital role. Bill Gates decided to take that responsibility. Are you going to be talking about Steve Jobs? Now, I've mentioned Steve Jobs. Last time of my previous video, I've explained, I have introduced who is also Bill Gates and many other inventors and business gurus. Now, who is Steve Jobs that I used to describe the kind of generation you are supposed to be raising for your nation as a leader, as a president, as a governor, as a minister, as any form of leadership you are. Now, who is Steve Jobs? Steve Jobs is highly influential person. Is not the set of people who is raising, who is society is not benefiting from what he's doing. His society, his generation, his nation, the world at large, they have benefited from what invested his energy to produce. I will soon come to that. Now we are talking about Steve Jobs. Who is Steve Jobs again? I said Steve Jobs is an influential man, and he's American. You know, when we talk about America, you are always singing the song of America because the Americans decided to use their energy to raise people like Steve Jobs, people, oh God, people like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, and many others who changed the narrative, who invested their energy to create a product that solve the needs of people, that solve problem. So Steve Jobs, as I said earlier, that Steve Jobs is an influential person, and is American, a business and an inventor. Underline that, inventor. Is not depending on mineral resources. It didn't depend on natural resources. It didn't depend on the wealth. It didn't depend on the wealth of the citizens, of his fellow citizens. Rather, he developed his knowledge in order to be sufficient enough to give life to the idea God has deposited in him. It didn't allow it to waste, because the last time I checked, I've discovered that God gives ideas. So Steve Jobs is a business and inventor. An inventor. Best known co-founder of Ample products. Of Ample. And his impact on technology, innovation, and products, as I've said, Ample products, on products development, he revolutionized, oh my God, he has revolutionized industries like personal computer, and not only that, animates movies. All this, he invested his energy on it. Invested his God-given energies on all of this. I'm going somewhere. Music, invested his energy, oh my God, on music. Not only that, on phones, Ample phones, Ample tablets, computing, retail stories, and digital publishing. The world has indeed benefited from his kind. What he have invested his time, he lays passion on. What he invested his energy, the world has actually benefited from it, because he have contributed to your life and my life positively. He revolutionized personal computing. You know, the sacred book talk about go ye therefore and bear fruit. Look at, I have come to realize that whatsoever God has given to us, it is not for our personal or for our selfish interest, but rather for the benefit of mankind. Look at how the sacred book also help us to understand this. You know, but we are not supposed to read the Bible to be religious, but rather to read Bible in order to learn how to add values. I want us to understand one thing, that thinkers rule this world. Thinkers rule the world, not religious people. Why? Because your relationship with God as a religious foe stop from where your religiosity starts. As a matter of fact, the day you start nursing on your head to be religious mentality, wearing that religious mentality, that is what puts an end. That is what puts an end to your relationship with your maker. Look at what the sacred book help us to understand here. He stated that he said, and I quote, he said, go ye into the world. Go ye into the world and multiply. That is the book of Genesis, right? Where God commanded Adam. He commanded Adam and Eve. And later Noah and his son to be fruitful and multiply. So to be fruitful is one thing, and to multiply is another thing. Isn't it obvious that we, mostly Africans, we are comfortable in most cases? Majority of Africans are they felt very comfortable to be religious. So I overheard them usually make this quote, escalating this quote, misinterpreting it, misunderstanding this quote, telling the world that after they have missed it, after oh God, oh my God, Creative Kingdom, regardez la base. This is not funny. It sounds funny, but it's not funny. After they have missed it, failed their God and their and the humanity, go on impregnating women, marrying more than what they cannot take care of. You will hear them justifying their abnormal behavior, quoting this Bible, say, after all, is it not the God that wrote it in? Is it not the word of God that we should go into the world and multiply? You are totally taking it out of context when you refer to a sacred book like that. Because to give birth, nothing wrong to give birth, at least to the children that you can be able to cater for. Nothing wrong. But when it now comes to this quote, it is actually talking about those who have lived their life to make their nation great. Those who have made impact. People who have invested their time to create products, create a product that is solving the needs of humanity. Not only that, they now went further to recreate themselves, reproducing themselves into the society. Whatever God has given to us, they are all raw materials, raw talents, gifts, potentials. They are all raw. So it is your responsibility to develop in knowledge in order to refine them, in order to either give them life, because if they you depends on your knowledge, you either give them life, or you either make them die. Many people are not able to give life to their idea, and in so doing they end up giving up hope and say they don't think that it is God's time. They do you see how religious it sounds? They don't think that what is right or what is good, though. Even the sacred book, he said, they that know what is right, doeth it not. To them, unto them is a sin. Opportunity God has given to you. If you are witnessing a new day, it means God has given you an opportunity to make your life productive, to use your life to be productive, for you to be productive in life. That is why God gave you life. So you telling God that no, it's not his time for you to make use of your life, to produce, to give life to that idea. I cannot understand that. So Steve, oh God. So this quotation, Steve Jobs is not a religious person, But practical is a very good example to use to explain this quotation, because he is one of the people who really practicalize on bearing fruits. Yes, he said he commanded them, indicating that they should go ye there to be fruitful, and multiply. What God has given to you, what God has given to you is a blessing, is a favor, right? What God has given to you is for you to increase it for the benefit of your nation, of humanity, of your fellow citizens. Look at how Steve Jobs be a good example, a good practical example for this. Steve Jobs, inspiration for innovation. Look at how it's being noticed in the whole world in general. Steve Jobs a relentless drive in life for innovation, and his ability to push boundary continue to inspire entrepreneurs, inspiring them, encouraging them, empowering them mentally, intellectually, because all these are invisible values that you will not count. Steve Jobs inspired so many entrepreneurs in the whole world, all over the whole world, inspiring them, not only entrepreneurs and innovators, the people who invested their time to invent products that you and I can benefit from. Innovators worldwide. That is how it's being described. Now you now understand the reason why I said it's high time you raise for your nation. Raise the generation of Steve Jobs for your country, as a Nigerian, as a senator, as a president, as a governor, as a minister, as honorable, as a chairman, as any leadership, the governor, yes, or as a president, vice president, president of senator, and the speaker, as a speaker, House of Representative, because all these are the arms of government. All these are playing a very crucial role in a society. As a chief justice, as governor and deputy governors, as governors and deputy governors. What raise a generation of Steve Jobs for the nation? Raise a generation of Bill Gates. Stop looking outside the country to bring foreigners, to be inviting foreigners. We all know how it goes, how it play now. We all know how it works. It's a game of interest. Yes, game of interest. Whatsoever they are coming to do it is a game of what will interest them, that will motivate them. So it's a game of interest. So whatsoever that will interest them to come to your country, is it not good you look inside yourself? You look at your people to raise the generation of Steve Jobs and the generation of Bill Gates and many others. You sent your citizens to school every year and they are graduating in millions. What are they going there to study? Why can't you invest in them and raise what you are looking for from them? You see, America system, their mentality, they always invest on their people. They always look forward to see the best among them. Other successful countries, that you usually heard about and you being carried away. If they were raising Boko Haram insurgency for their country will not move forward.
Alright guys, welcome to my channel guys. So Benue State is currently under siege, alright, as 61 individuals lose their life and plus others that has not actually been counted amongst the fighting that is currently going on in the city. Alright, so I'm going to let you guys to watch and see all that actually happened. Yes, we've heard a lot of news that the Nigerian military is currently doing all they could. But then a lot of lives are being lost on daily basis. And this, it's calling for too much concern as the president of the Nigerian Republic needs to act fast to avoid losing more lives in our country, Nigeria. So I'm going to let you guys to actually see all that happened in this particular video update of what is currently going on in Benue State that needs to be tackled immediately. You know, before we've been hearing it, we've been seeing a lot on the social media, but things are really, really getting worse. All right, so let's see the video.
As you're watching Standpoint, the governor of Benue State, Hyacinth Alia, has raised alarm, declaring that the state is under some sort of siege by what he calls terrorists and not necessarily, herders farmers clash. The governor also said that he accused some politicians of being behind the attacks in Benue State, and this is as the Chief of Army Staff says he has relocated to Benue State to deal with this crisis there. Let's now bring in a security analyst, Shea.
It will not be your dream country to visit or to go and look for a greener pasture. So let us stop raising for the nation, raising for Africa, Nigeria precisely, Boko Haram. Let's stop any insurgency of his kind. Not only that, there are different kinds of all these different insurgency going on. Are we going to be talking about ISWAP insurgency? Of what benefit? Of what? How is it giving life or is taking life? So any organization, any group that is taking life is not the will of God. So any insurgency like which other insurgency again? There are plenty of them. Name them. Are we going to be downboy into all of that today? Are we going to be talking about jihadis, insurgency group? A lot of them. There are not many, even the one that you never thought of. Meaning you are just folding your hands, watching all these groups to give birth to a generation of monster in 5 years to 10 years to come in Nigeria. Where are the Steve Jobs? If you allow that to happen, where are the big gates? And you saw how he's going, how they are raising a generation of monster. They are just going, regrouping themselves like wildfire. So a time has come for we to start looking forward to raise for the nation a generation of Steve Jobs, a generation of Big Gates. Not only that, a generation of Henry Ford. A generation that can impact, that can have a positive impact to the society, because Nigeria is very big in size, in population. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years from now, it will be double, and it's a blessing. That is the blessing. That is the beauty of the nation. We cannot say because of lack of knowledge to allow all this blessing to not turn into famine, into tragedy, into tears, into pain, into regret. That is not the will of God at all. And to do all of this, it takes energy. It takes energy for Steve Jobs to be Steve Jobs today. It takes energy for Big Gate to be Big Gate today. Yes. Everything in life is energy. Energy. It starts with energy and ends with energy. However big or small, it is energy. So investing that energy on negativism instead of creating life, adding values to life, raising a better generation for the country, to your continent and the world at large, you are raising a generation of havoc, a generation of abomination, a generation of conflict, problem, just creating problem. But our life was given to us in order for we to use it to solve problems, not to use it to create, not for creating problems. So I would like to end it up because of time. I don't want this video to be too long. Thank you and remain blessed.